the pill, I don't think it should be a form of contraception. It's just so bad for you. It has so many bad side effects, some of which might be on the little leaflet in really small print, and some of them might not be. And I feel like if they're going to give that out to women, they should at least publicise the side effects properly. But as a result of using the pill, I ended up with like a brain condition that was like affecting my sight. It could have made me go blind if it wasn't caught early enough. That is not on the packet of taking the pill. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You could go blind from using the pill and you're not told that. If young girls knew that, it could cause things like that, things like glaucoma, I'm sure there's loads of other things. They wouldn't use it. Young girls being given the pill to combat like acne or period pain is just ridiculous. I think to use a contraception that's made for adults, for like basically children and young girls, is just ridiculous. I think if people have been on the pill like as a young teenager all the way through to when they're sexually active and onwards, if they've been on it for 10 years or whatever, it definitely kind of encourages them to keep using that form of contraception. It is bad because of the side effects that it can have. And I guess the longer you're on it, the higher the chance is that, you know, these side effects are going to affect you. So loads of people whose doctors have recommended to use the coil or the IUD as an alternative to taking the pill, but they have their own side effects as well. Like, I know quite a few people who have had complications from using the coil that have affected them for the rest of their lives. Yeah, I know a couple of people who have had to have hysterectomies as a result of using the coil. So I don't really see how that is a better alternative to the pill. It's just a different product, different problems. And I don't think they think about the big picture, so they worry about girls having children really young. So they try and solve that with all these different forms of contraception that have really bad side effects. They don't worry about that at the time because they're solving the problem of, you know, teenage pregnancy. I think there's definitely a warped view of mental health. Like, depression can be seen as like laziness, can't be botheredness. I think anxiety can be seen as making too big of a deal out of things. Things like schizophrenia and manic depression can be seen as people who are just crazy or just nutters. I think that's so wrong for things to be seen that way. It's such a misconception of people who are suffering, and to put labels on them, I think, is just quite sick. Especially anxiety, well, for me, is definitely not publicised at all. The first time I had like a panic attack, I literally thought I was dying. I had no idea what was going on. I thought I must be having like a heart attack. Why aren't things like that publicised more? Why don't we know what a panic attack looks like more? Why don't people know what depression looks like more? People know what the signs of the cold is, or the flu, and things like that, but people don't know the signs of mental health issues. From like my own experience and people around me, I don't think doctors at GP surgeries are at all qualified to deal with mental health issues. It seems that their attitude is to come up with the quickest solution possible to get people out of the door and get the next patient in. So in most cases that will be, here's some antidepressants, hope you feel better, next. Doctors will give these tablets out and have no follow-up with patients and expected just to carry on with life, and everything's supposed to be fantastic now because they've got antidepressants. And I just don't think that is the case. I don't think it helps whoever's gone in to see them feel like they're getting support from someone who is there to support them. The idea of a pill solving all is ridiculous. I think mental health is a big thing. To help people get better involves a lot more than a pill. I think probably most people's issues are a lot more complex than that. I think capitalism definitely contributes to most people's mental health problem because it creates an idea that there's a certain way that things have to happen, there's a certain order to things, there's certain things that you have to do. You have to go to school, you have to do exams, you have to go to college, you have to go to university, then you have to get a 9-to-5 job. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on people from a very, very young age, and kind of gives the impression that if you don't conform to that exact ideology, then something's wrong with you. Capitalism just kind of creates a feeling that you're never good enough because there's always something else you should be doing. Once you've kind of accomplished this and this, there's still something else that you haven't done that you should be doing. It's kind of a never-ending cycle. I think things like racism and sexism play a really big part in mental health, because I guess anything that oppresses or persecutes people like on a daily basis can definitely contribute to mental health. They're the kind of things that, again, aren't discussed in society, that people try to brush underneath the carpet the same way they do with mental health. So if you put those two things together, it can only have a negative impact on someone. Yeah, I think a lot of people who like close themselves off to like understanding mental health or even wanting to like accept or be a part of it, it's definitely down to like their insecurities about themselves. I guess maybe it's easier for them to be in a little bubble where these things don't exist and they don't have to think like about anything deeper than the day-to-day life. There is a fear that if they acknowledge other people's, you know, mental health issues, then they have to kind of examine their own lives and they accept that there might be a few issues there, which is maybe too much for them to deal with, I don't know. People are always really interested as to like where I've come from. People just always ask, where are you from? I always just say London, wait for baffled looks to appear. I guess they ask because I'm not white, or because my skin is brown, which means I must be from another country. I must not have been born here. I feel like when they ask that question, they have an answer in their mind that they want me to say. Like they want me to say, oh, I was born somewhere else. And it's like, well, no, I was born in London. Both my parents were born in the UK. It's like that answer isn't what they were looking for. I've been told I look Tunisian, Portuguese, Spanish, Mexico, French, Chinese, I think one. I don't know, I've kind of just let it go with my head. I don't think it really bothers me now because I'm so used to it. It's always happened ever since I was little. I just kind of find it funny and just know the people that are asking are just a bit ignorant, really. Yeah, I've had strangers ask to stop me in the middle of the street and ask, where are you from? You look really exotic. Number one, what is exotic? Like, I would call food exotic, and I'm nothing. I do find it quite rude. Like, I wouldn't stop a stranger in the street and just ask them a random question. I guess like, maybe they feel like they have the right because I am different, or different in their eyes. So maybe they feel like I'm expecting those questions, or that I really should answer their questions. I don't know. I've had people assume that I wish my hair was a different way. Like, they've compared my hair to other mixed race people's hair that's thinner, longer, straighter, more English, and kind of in a feeling sorry for me way. But don't worry, your hair will be like that one day. Your hair will be like that if you relax it. Your hair will be like that if you straighten it. And that's as a child, so I don't know if it bothered me then. I don't know if as a child that you have the awareness to realise what they're saying is wrong and it's going to affect you, but I just kind of thought that is what I should be aspiring to then. When people start saying that, I guess you kind of start thinking, oh, maybe that is the kind of hair like I'm supposed to have. Maybe I should relax my hair, maybe, you know, I should straighten it all the time. When I used to relax it, I had people like stroke my hair and say things like, oh my god, your hair feels like just like ours. It's like normal. It's normal. My hair's normal in any kind of condition that I decide to leave it in. And then, so if I left it natural and it was curly, people would be like amazed by it. Then, oh, your hair looks so nice, what did you do to it? I'm just like, nothing. I just washed it and came to work. No logical sense to me that healthy food is more expensive than normal supermarket food. There's no logic to that. It isn't more expensive to source. I think it's really important to eat healthy, and I think in a society where it's not discussed enough or in the right way, it's important to educate yourself as well, because you don't get that in school. You don't get that just by living. I feel like you have to look into it yourself. Eating healthy definitely becomes a privilege to, number one, people who can afford to buy that food, and number two, to people who've got the ability to research and look into all these kind of things, which isn't fair, but that is definitely the way it is. I think it is done on purpose. It's made hard to educate yourself on eating healthy, to keep a gap between people, like to keep gaps in society the way they are. It's like they don't want everyone to be healthy and be happy. I guess maybe like they look at it from the point of view that it would be harder to control healthy, happy people, that they'd question things more. If people were more educated, people would be questioning everything in this country. Reading was really important to me as a child. My mum says that I was reading as soon as I was old enough to hold a book. Yeah, I think it does affect young black children that they don't see people like them in the books that they're reading. I don't think I noticed for quite a while that there wasn't anyone like me in the books that I was reading. I think it took me quite a while to realise that, because I thought talks about it. I guess it made me feel like sad and angry at the same time. I guess like reading those books as a child though makes you think it's normal to do that there aren't black people in books. So I could see how, you know, a black person would grow up to write a book that doesn't include someone who looks like them, because maybe that's seen as normal. I think, yeah, it probably does hinder their imagination, but I think it affects like their perception of themselves, like who they are and where they fit into society. It must make them feel quite alone, quite isolated, like they're different, they're strange, because they can't see themselves in anything around them. They can't see them in books, they can't see themselves on TV, they can't see themselves in films. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You could go blind from using the pill and you're not told that. If the young girls knew that, they wouldn't use it. I think things like racism and sexism play a really big part in mental health, because anything that oppresses people on a daily basis can definitely contribute. It's like they don't want everyone to be healthy and be happy. It'd be harder to control healthy, happy people.